Greetings, Visual Stratified Populate. We're here today to talk about a pretty important topic with Entropia. It involves a lot of loot changes. It's called Loot 2.0. Changes the way that we approach hunting in Entropia. We've all read the developer notes and, oh man, this is when they could finally change the way that we play Entropia, and it's not all about money. And even though the loot is like, it's to get money in the game, and you're playing with hunting and you're trying to make money and you're trying to enjoy the game while making money off of it. I wanted to talk about there's a developer note that they had a couple years back in 2012 actually, and it was called Dev Notes 3, and basically it sought out to stress the importance of efficiency, and they went out through this whole article talking about how to keep your avatar efficient and put in ways to be efficient with your avatar. And that was through the damages and like all the it mainly focused on the hit, your attack hit in Entropia, and like your hit ability. I think it was hit ability. I don't know, like I was just reading it and it's like right over there. But anyways, so this new loot system, it sounds like that was the thing that was already in place for them to even think about putting a efficiency system in place, even though that should have already been in place. And now we've got this loot system that's now in place. Like, you guys kind of get what I'm trying to throw at you? You picking up what I'm putting down? We were playing this game thinking the game was already balanced it was already balanced in a way that we could hunt and like calculate our odds, and it was kind of there. I stopped playing because there was no way to calculate anything, because you'd go out on a like probably a $100 hunt and you would try and focus on each different mob and figure out like which one was good, and you try to like follow other like streamers or whatever, and usually it would work, but recently absolutely fucking not. You cannot confidently go in and be like, okay, I'm gonna hunt, am I gonna profit today, or am I gonna like lose a huge majority of the money that you put out? Like I remember back when like bots and Argonauts were a thing, like I don't know, maybe you guys forgotten about it, but like Argos used to be like the foundation of hunting. Like if you were a mentor and you would like try to help out another player, or even just helping out other players, it was so easy because you knew what to do, and you would just like explain to them, okay, well now you just kind of hunt Argos forever until you get this or item A, or before you get like item B, you want to make sure that item A is in place, and you teach them like how, like you would honestly use bots or Argonauts to demonstrate like how you would hunt. Like with bots, they're mining robots, so they would always have ore on them, so it would teach you how to like, or well, this is what I would do to like teach other society members. Like I would teach them like, all right, so you're gonna hunt all of these bots, maybe 200 of them, that's your goal, and don't loot, like don't cycle any of your loot through the trade terminal. Like you would only cycle through the auction. And so that was hard for a lot of players, but there's a couple of them that actually got it, and like this is what my mentor tried teaching me, is to like keep your loot, you know, just keep the whole entire thing and sell it for a higher markup on the auction. And I know that's like hard to do because you actually want to go and play with like $10 and play with 100 ped and go through it. People just don't like nickel and diming every little cent that they can, and like back then you could actually do that. Nowadays you cannot do that, but with the recent update I feel like it's there, but it's not there in a way that like I feel is fair to a lot of the players who have been playing this game. For instance, like, let me just explain this. We were under the impression that the loot always sucked. We always thought it was just random. But now with the recent loot changes, like for instance, loot calculations will be optimized and improved to better factor in the various costs associated with hunting activity, including healing, ammo consumption, buffs, tool, and armor deterioration. I thought all of this stuff already like factored into what you're doing. Like I thought all of these items were balancing each other out. And the other thing is avatar skills will play a role in loot calculations, and this role will be expanded in future version updates. Imagine new professions that offer hunting specialization opportunities and a way to incrementally increase net loot returns for dedicated and active hunters. So now it's so apparent that it's all bullshit. We had theories back when we were playing, like we thought like perception or like there was another one, serendipity, like we thought that kind of secretly affected loot, you know, like just better factored into like getting better loot, and now it's starting to make sense that that was all bullshit. We just kind of made it all up. We didn't care. The other thing is like we didn't like, nothing was concrete, nothing was like directly explained by Mindark that like, yeah, this is what it did. No, it was all like it was all hearsay. Like everyone was shooting out bullshit, you know. Same like this update, I started playing for maybe like half an hour, and one thing that I noticed said here, ammunition will be removed from hunting loot and replaced with shrapnel. This change has been requested and replaced with shrapnel. I'm reading on the release notes from their website, not the release notes they had on their forum. Hang on, let me see here. So that's what I was going to point out. It says, where is it? Here, breakdown. They changed this. Yep. Ammunition will be removed from hunting loot. This change has been requested by many participants over the years and will assist participants to more accurately tracking their loot, tracking their results. They just put that in. They like, that's in this thing. So if you go and look, I'm a little confused here because on the one page it says the ammunition will be removed from hunting loot and replaced from like the one that I was reading on here that was with my own two eyes has been changed while I was recording the video. So it was there, and then I changed it, or I didn't change it. Like I refreshed the page and it was changed, and so now they changed their words while I was recording that video, and they changed it back while I was editing the video. So now there's like 3 separate like screenshots of what. Okay, so anyways, I know it's to better like track your results and all that stuff, but still you're being given items that keep you hunting in the game. Like that, like there is no stop. Like, let's say you're in a casino, right? And you want to better track your spending. You're not going to be able to do that because you're going to be like, oh wow, okay, here's $50. Cool. Hey, I could probably spend $50 again. You're going to spend $50 again because it's $50. You're not going to know, like, it's $50. You went in with 100, and then you spent all 100, and maybe you had $20 left, and you got 50 again. And you're like, oh man, yeah, okay, what if? And like, I don't go to casinos. I don't know what it's like. Maybe you guys have better odds, and when I was there, I was like, just no, expensive. And that's kind of why I don't play Entropia anymore, because I see a lot of similarities. Like, for instance, shrapnel. You use it, you break it down, and then you start like hunting more. You hunt longer. Like, I think shrapnel should have other uses. Like, shrapnel should be broken down into like iron and use that to sell for iron, or broken down into something like, why is the shrapnel in an animal's body to begin with? Like, hang on, bear with me here, okay? So like, what was it doing? Was it in a war and it got shrapnel part in his body? It was another hunter hunting it and they didn't want to kill it. They were okay with not looting it and just kind of left it. Or maybe, here's another thing, like, why are there armors and weapons on these creatures? Are people dying and they, it's very rare to get an armor piece or an item, like any kind of item, off of a mob, unless it's like a really small noobish weapon. It's fine, but like, I don't find items anymore. I haven't really played in a long time to tell, but from what I've played the just past couple of hours, I've just been getting nothing but shrapnel and the odd animal oils, and I've been breaking even, but that's like just a minute or like 2 minutes of like hunts. But like, I kind of don't want to spend 50 ped on like an Apollo hunt, or a fist fighting hunt, like, because it also says here the loot value calculations and composition of the items in loot will be affected, properly matching avatar skills and gear to create to the creature being hunted, rewarding efficient skills and more interesting loot, or with more interesting loot. For optimal loot, it will be important to avoid inefficiency such as low damage output compared to creature health, excessive time and cost to kill, overkill damage, unmaxed weapons, and their factors. This system is intended to reward game knowledge, which has traditionally had been an important and unique aspect of success in Entropia universe, and to provide opportunities for participants to improve their loot returns via experimentation and specialization. Fucking good on you, Entropia, like, or Mindark. Like, you guys did exactly what, like, that's like putting the nail on, like, right on the head, like, or hitting the head on the nail. Like, that's how, hitting the nail with your head. I don't know, these things escape me. So yeah, they nailed it. To me, that's a good job. But from what I was playing, I was just getting shrapnel, and that was like for an hour of playing, and I just don't like getting shrapnel because it makes you want to play more. Because you're gonna break down that shrapnel, and you're gonna, like, it doesn't make me want to play more. It makes me want to play it less, because it's like, hey, check this out. You're going to be able to use your ammo and your weapons more and keep hunting. You never know, you might get something. And I'm just like, I don't buy into that. All I want to do, kill a creature. Does it have an item? Cool. All right. Can I use that item? It's better than whatever the shit L weapons I got. Like, the one weapon I have, okay, like, it's worth like I think 10,000 ped, 20,000 ped. I'm not sure because of the economy right now. Before, when I got it, it was like around 30,000 to like 40,000. I'm like, sweet, but I can't use it. Like, I need the weapons that I need to get there. I'm like a step in between. You know, I could use it. Like, it's for my level, but like, I gotta go spend probably about, gotta burn through like a couple guns maybe. That's like probably like $100 maybe, and like, that's $100. You could, like, I'd just rather buy some shitty action figures, you know? Like, I don't care. Like, it's kind of the same thing. You go in Entropia, spend $100 and play, like, waste your time. Okay, you're probably not wasting your time, but like, you're investing time, and when that investment doesn't come back, it feels like a waste of time. So like, I know I don't want to do that. So this way, I know I just waste my time. Like, I say to myself, I'm using it for drawing and shit, which I do. I actually use it for, fuck. Okay, so we're talking about the loot in Entropia and versus this dev log that they had of like, it's 2012, man. It's 2017 right now. Jesus. They had a lot of time to like add this core component, you know. They had a lot of time to add that, and they haven't done that. Well, they're doing it now, but like, I'm just seeing shrapnel, and sure, I was just hunting for like half an hour, but like I said, I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to feel like a jerk for like doing that. Well, I guess I'd be a jerk. Okay, I don't want to feel like I've wasted my time in the game, but at the same time, I don't want to like feel like a jerk and not do it, because these guys they may have actually did something good here. So regardless, I could just maybe spend a little bit more time playing the game, but still, clicking on one mob forever for what? Like, just boom, 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 boom. So boring. So fucking boring. Like, that's not me. I know it's an acquired taste. Most of you guys, you eat that shit up apparently, and you know, you just loot it and you live stream it, and it's like, look at your expensive weapons. Now look what you're doing with them. Just pew, 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 bum-ba-da-da. All right, and they never get excited. Pew, 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 pew. No, fuck that. That's so, no. Like, this game needs to change. They gotta add like, okay, for instance, let's go back to the whole avatars being eaten, and like, I don't even think I mentioned that point where like, what is an item doing on the monster? Like, why does it poop out or drop out all of this interesting loot? You know, there should be more of that, but at the same time, I feel they should be stronger, and they should actually be able to pierce and or bite a piece of your limb off. So like, let's say you've got an arm. Actually, you do have an arm. So let's just, we can all agree that we all have arms, okay? But let's just say, for instance, a monster bites your arm clean off, and your arm is gone, and it's just a stump, and now you're like, oh no, shit, I gotta get out of here. This monster's clearly overpowering me. Or you pull out a pistol and you start shooting it, and then the arm that had your little vibroblade on, you go inside of its gut and you pull it out, and you're like, oh, I got my arm, look at me. And then you use your first aid pack, you open it up, and you're like this, kind of like a, you know, here, you've got this, and you're just like, yep, here we go. All right, you go, and then you just put your arm in, and then you pull it out, and it's all brand new, and you're like, yes, cool. And then this thing just goes, and then you put it back in your inventory thing, and then you're like, cool, I got my blade back too. Or let's say another hypothetical thing, you're going out, you're hunting, and you see an avatar, and you're like, oh man, I better help that guy, he looks like he's being eaten. Okay, he's dead. Okay, so you go in to start fighting the mob, and you're like, don't worry buddy, I'm gonna help you, and he's all gurgling and stuff, and his arm's like on the ground, and you're like, oh man, this is a mess, I better really help this guy. So you like stab into the stomach of the monster, and you just slide open, and you peer out, and you're like, hey buddy, how's it going? And he's like sliced down the shoulder because you stabbed a nut, like a nut, and you opened it, and you stabbed him in the face, and you're like, all right. And you drag his ass out, and you're like, okay, what's he got on his body? And you pull out this awesome armor. You're like, that's cool, I've got a better one though. And you pull out like his sword, and you're like, wow, he died with this? What a dick. And you put that on your shoulder, and you take his guns and ammo, and then whatever else mobs that the mob had eaten or something. Like, I don't know, that'd be cool, right? Entropia could totally do something like that with the Cry Engine too, like, it'd be sweet. Yeah, I got a little carried away with that kind of explaining thing. Yeah, I think that should be loot 3.0. I don't know, it's just loot point 2.0. Just shrapnel, but I think I'll go and like play a bit more, but like as for now, I think just wait and play other games.
Star Citizen.